start the meeting. So if everyone's okay, we'll give it 1-2 minutes, and then we'll start. Is that okay with everybody? And can everybody hear me okay? Good. Thank you, Jeff. Morning, Matt. Happy?
Good morning.
Hello, Tara. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Renee.
Morning.
Good morning.
Is everybody okay to start? A few people coming in, and we'll get it going. Morning, John. So thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll get the meeting started. I apologize for the distractions or the noise in the background, at least where I'm at right now, which is the coffee shop. And thank you, Krista, for your help in organizing the meeting, and Kristen and Melissa for your help in keeping things going and running the county in terms of all the efforts and activities we're doing. Of course, now the noise is escalating. Anyway, we'll go ahead and start the meeting, and we'll have our first item. If you have questions on the agenda and also on the minutes, those are attached to the invitation. So if you cannot find them, let me know and one of us can get them to you. So let's go ahead and start the call to order. And in order to make sure that everyone's not talking over everybody, if it's okay with everybody, I'll go last and then introduce people as I see them on the screen. So if you could just say hi, what you do, we are. And then when you're not talking, mute would be great as well. I'll do the same when I'm not talking. So Jeff, can you start, please?
Sure. My name's Jeff Robb with the Dunn County Health
check.
Department.
Let me quick look.
Thank you, Jeff. I think we got most of that.
Yep. So I'm the environmental health manager. So I'm sitting in for KT today.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jeff. Welcome. And John, can you say hi, please?
Yes, hello, I'm John Calabrese. I'm a Dunn County Board Supervisor, District 14, and the Chair of the Judiciary and Law Committee. Hi, everybody.
Great. Thanks, John, and welcome. And Mike Sampson?
Hi, I'm Mike Sampson. I'm a patrol lieutenant with the Menominee Police Department. I worked last night, so that's.
Thank you for serving and all the things you do, and hope you get some rest after the meeting. Okay, thank you, Mike. And Brian, can you introduce yourself, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Brian Johnson, District 1 County Board, Dunn County Board. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, thank you, and welcome, Brian. And Brad, can you introduce yourself, please?
Brad Ludke, Environmental Engineer 3 in Menominee.
Thank you, Brad. And Melissa, we'll go to you next, please.
I'm Melissa Gillenbach, Dunn County Emergency Management Director.
Thank you, Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
And Kristen.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen Bunch. I am the Program Assistant for Emergency Management of Dunn County.
Thank you, Kristen. And Krista, again, thanks for all that you do. If you want to introduce yourself as well, please.
Sure. I'm Krista Vind, and I work for Dunn County IT.
Thank you, Krista. And Ashley?
Hi, I'm Ashley Misselt. I am an Environmental Health and Safety Specialist at 3M in Menominee.
Thank you, Ashley. And Rob?
Yeah, I represent Rob Summerfield. Glad to be here.
Thank you, Rob. Next, we have Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew Crow here from Cardinal Float Glass. I'm our environmental manager here in Menominee.
Thank you very much. And let's see, Dustin, can you say hi, please?
Dustin Binder, Dunn County Highway Commissioner.
Thank you, Dustin. Tara?
Good morning. I'm Tara Verdon. I'm from Mayo Clinic Health System. I'm the Emergency Management Coordinator.
Thank you, Tara. Welcome. And Jenny?
Hi, good morning. Jenny Legaspi with the American Red Cross. I'm the Disaster Program Manager.
Thank you, Jenny. And Brian Morris?
Morning, everybody. Brian Morris representing Dunn County Aries Races.
Great. Thank you, Brian. And Renee?
Renee Norman with Dunn County Emergency Management.
Okay, thank you, Renee. Let's see, did I miss anybody or did we get everybody okay? Anybody that, I'm just looking at the screen that may have been missed? Okay, we'll move over to our next order of business, which is a review of the last or the previous meeting minutes from December. I'll go ahead and mute for a moment here. If you would like to take a look at the meeting minutes, again, from about 6-7 months ago, and if you have any questions, please bring them up. Once we resume after a minute, if there are any questions, fine. If not, we'll go ahead and call for a motion in a second. Are there any questions on the previous meeting minutes or any comments? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes? You can either raise a hand or just shout out.
This is Jeff. I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Jeff. And is there a second? Thank you, John. We won't have anyone yell out, but if there are any, because otherwise it'd be total chaos like where I'm at right now. Anyway, if there are no are there any objections? Please raise a hand or say. If not, motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Next order of business would be the type 3 or the hazmat team update. And are we able to provide that? Perhaps Melissa, Renee, Kristen, to give us any updates on that?
I actually did not receive an update from Menominee Fire on that, so we don't have anything to report other than we did apply for the computer hazmat grant through the state of Wisconsin on behalf of our hazmat team here in Menominee. So the application was just due last week, so we don't have any word on that, but we did apply for that on their behalf. So that's about the only thing I have.
Thank you, Melissa. Is that something that we might hear from soon, or is that going to take a while to process?
It's probably going to take a while to process. I know generally, the whole wrap up and everything is done mid-December. So, I would say we wouldn't hear for probably at least a month or so if it was awarded. We did a pre-application a couple months ago, so I think the application process is fairly streamlined in that we're probably guaranteed what we asked for.
Great. Okay, thank you, Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any comments or questions on that? Okay, if not, we'll proceed to the next order of business, which would be the information coordinator's report, which will include several different items. And if we're able to continue with that, perhaps Melissa, we could start with the budget review.
Sure. We really didn't have any budgetary items that impacted the planning portion for this year so far. We've had, a minor office supply purchase, but other than that, we didn't have any budget impacts. You're still muted, Steve, so I'm not sure if you want something else or.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to unmute because of the background noise. Maybe I should just mute and everyone would be much better off now. Use hand signals. Okay, well, I'll just leave it off right now. Could we, thank you, Melissa. Any questions on that? If not, do we have anything in terms of the spill reports or claims updates?
We do. So we've had 9 spills since our last meeting. And I'll just kind of run through them here. Just to kind of preface my report, the DNR is backlogged on closing out some of our spills. So I may not indicate that they are closed. However, they may very well be closed. It's just that they have not been able to give us that information at this time. So we had a small 3-gallon gasoline spill at Quick Trip back in December, on December 17th. We did have on January 7th, there was some fertilizer that was spilled in the town of Peru on a local farm. On January 12th, we did have 20 gallons of diesel fuel spilt on Highway 29 as a result of a traffic accident. And I believe those 3 have actually been closed out as far as the DNR is concerned. The rest of these, I have not received a report from the DNR that they are closed, but have been in contact, with Jason from the DNR about these, and he has no concerns about the following spills. It's just he hasn't been able to work on his reports. So on March 28th, we did have a wastewater spill at 3M. On May 13th, we did have a complaint of a runoff from the sand mine that is over in the Chippewa County area, right on the Chippewa-Dunn border, on town of Colfax in the Cooks Valley area. We had a huge, I shouldn't say huge, but we did have a larger rain event in the night before this call came in. And so there was some concern that there may have been some contamination runoff from that sand mine into the local creek. But there were no environmental concerns. They did go out and do some testing. Everything tested very low. There just was some concern about some runoff from that sand mine. On May 18th, we had some manure spill in the township of Elk Mound on a farm on 830th Avenue, and that did run down the road and enter a small creek in the area. On June 1st, we did have PFAS at 3M. On the 9th of June, we had some sewer spillage in a local trailer court here, and there was some concern as it did run from underneath the trailer home down the road. And so there was some concern about that, but that was handled. And then on June 30th, we did have a nitrogen spill on a farm in New Haven Township. Like I said, I was in contact with the DNR. They don't really have any concerns about any of these spills that they're working on. It's just a lot of paperwork closeout that they haven't been able to complete at this time.
Thank you very much, Patricia.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions? I can try and answer if you have any. No.
It looks like it was great. You did a great job explaining all this. Thank you for your stuff.
I don't know if it's too much information or not.
It's great. And we had 10 last time, so 9 this time, this meeting. So it's just dealing with them individually, and hopefully, just as you were saying, Melissa, they remain controllable and small and able to be handled within the resources that we have.
Yeah. Like I said, I did reach out to Jason, and he just said that they're just really backlogged right now, and there really wasn't any major concerns that we were going to have any issues or have to, implement our reimbursement policy. So.
Yeah, great. Very well done. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions for Melissa? Okay, if not, we'll continue to the next item, which is a review of the offsite plans that we've had since the last meeting. And those include reports or plans from 3M, ConAgra, Air Products and Chemicals, Quality Liquid Feeds, Tractor Central, Fleet Farm, and Cardinal FG. And we have had a subcommittee that has reviewed the different plans and can give us a summary. And then if there are any questions about either the individual plans or perhaps overall, we can entertain those. If not, then we can motion again for approval. Melissa or others on the committee, would you be willing to just kind of give us an update or some of the basics on what was done?
I sure can. I know you were on the committee too. Didn't you receive them, Steve?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So they were reviewed a couple weeks ago by the committee, and actually Steve Finlay had done a lot of the work on most of these. Kristen and I did finish up a couple of them that needed to be handled, and Kristen worked very diligently on getting a couple signatures for us. So they are all complete and will be sent off to the state. If everyone has had a chance to review them, I don't know if you want me to go individually or just overview. I think most of the changes that we had to make were contacts, phone numbers, some minor changes like that. We did have we did investigate the Cardinal FG one a little bit closer, as they did have a chemical that we felt may need to change their whole plan. After, Kristen and I did some investigation, we determined that it did not have to change their plan. So they ended up with some very minor changes also. So changes in a few locations of maybe some chemicals and storage things. But other than that, it was primarily just the kind of the peripheral contact information and things like that.
Thank you, Melissa. Interested. Are there any questions about the plans that are in place or some of the changes that Melissa had mentioned or additions or so forth? Anyone have any questions or comments? If not, then thank you again for the outstanding work that's being done. If not, is there a motion to accept the changes in the plans as they have been revised? Okay, so is anyone willing to make a motion to accept the plans? Would somebody need to raise their hand or just announce
I'll make
yourself?
a motion.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
Sure.
And Brad, you will second. Thank you for raising your hand, for clapping one of you. Are there any objections to the proposal, to the motion to entertain the changes? If not, or seeing none, the motion's carried. Then before we get to the last or final items, which will be setting the next meeting and the adjournment, are there any questions in general or any comments since the last meeting we've had in December 2021? Had anyone, any issues that anyone wants to bring up at all?
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, I have just a curious question. When you're going down the list of the spills, you said, Melissa, that there was PFAS at 3M. Was that because some water was tested? Were they in the water, or was it just a spill of something that contained a lot of those? Is there like a regular testing that goes on, or?
Sure, I can pull that up. Brad, I know you're on from 3M. Did you have anything that you wanted to add about that?
I'm not going to comment much on it. It's ongoing. Working with the state on some items. So until that report is complete, I'm hesitant to add anything further at this time.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I can pull it up, but it was very, very minor if I remember correctly. And there was some corrections, I think, being taken and maybe some employee training or air.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, John. Good question. And Brad, any other comments or questions from the committee? Any issues or concerns that you want to bring up in terms of kind of integrated, in addition to hazmat, other issues, obviously the pandemic and other related events that have been going on around here while we're doing this virtually. We may consider going to a regular meeting at the next time and next topic to talk about. It's something we can always do based on what's happening, based on any other variants, mutations going on. It's kind of a, as we all know, a very fluid situation. So more to come on that. Any other questions or any comments that anyone has? If not, if you could take a look at your calendar and either electronically or in paper, typically we've had these meetings in June, although this one was delayed. And thank you for being open and flexible with your calendar. And then in December. So if you look at December, typically that Thursday would be December 15th. We can certainly look at that as a meeting in terms of having it that day. Excuse me, or we could go the 8th, which is the week before. We probably don't want to go any later, being close to holidays. Is December 15th a good date that would work with everybody? Are there any concerns or questions you might have? Like an alternate date? All right, if not, then what we can do is look at that. December 15th is the next LEPC meeting. We may either have this virtually, like we've been doing this over the last couple of years, or we could consider kind of a hybrid approach where we meet here at the courthouse or perhaps another location on site, and then be able to tap in through Zoom or Teams or other type of media to have the meeting. So we'll go ahead and shoot for the 15th of December. If that works, great. If there are any questions, issues, too close to holidays, that kind of thing, we can certainly look at another date.
Steve, I just want to, put this out there. I know we've been virtual for, a couple of years now. In the past, prior to going virtual, we used to maybe have a meeting and then possibly tour one of our facilities or, something either in the city of Menominee or close to the city of Menominee. And if that is something that is interesting to everybody on the committee, we definitely could try and get back to that at some point. I know it is very nice to have these virtual meetings. It's very convenient. But if that is something, we can definitely look at that too. Again, touring some of the facilities once in a while. Like I said, we'd pick one facility and just take, a 30 minute to an hour tour of the facility if we have a facility that's willing to do that. So that is just one benefit of not having these meetings, all virtual. And it's something we could definitely look at if the committee is interested in it.
Makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Melissa. That's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
And 3M has hosted us before, Cardinal Glass, so other locations. It's a really good way for the committee and for really community to see the excellent facilities and the different businesses that we have. So if that's something that, let's say, going for the December meeting, anyone is interested in looking into and hosting the meeting, that would be greatly appreciated. So if you could consider that, please. Great. Get a hold of Melissa or Kristen and myself, and we can certainly facilitate that. Or if you're looking in the next year, even in terms of the summer meeting, we could do that as well. Great point. Any other comments, questions? So more to come on that proposal. Okay, we'll take our final item, which is the adjournment. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Matthew. Is there a second?
I can second. Or Brad beat me to it.
Second and a third. All right, thank you, Brian. Any opposition? All right, seeing as not, the meeting is now adjourned, and thank you everybody for attending. Please be safe out there. Thanks for the excellent work done by our team and for you and the community to help us out as well, to keep it outstanding as it is. Have a safe rest of your summer and fall, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you.